I feel like I'm witnessing the death of the individual. Where if you black, you gotta be a Democrat. If you Christian, you gotta be a Republican.
Now, there is Campus Crusades for Christ still here, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So there's no outreach going on for it? Because you've been here on the campus 3 years.
I have 3 semesters. But
Okay.
Yeah, there's definitely some biblical organizations on campus. I know the last semester there were quite a few that shut down.
Really?
Because of issues with leadership.
Wow.
So I believe at the moment there's 1 or 2. There's not very many at all. And I think that's an issue. But obviously, if you don't have the people who are interested in it, you're not going to have as many organizations. So I think the students who are interested in it and truly believe in Jesus and that He died and rose again to pay the debt of all our sins, then they need to go out and they need to spread the word so that more students can get interested, so that more organizations can get formed, and there's just that space for everybody.
You need to have more forerunners for Christ.
Exactly.
More Johns on the campus.
Exactly.
Shoot, if you don't believe everything I believe the exact way I believe it, you're not even saved. And if you black and you ain't following the script that all black folks gotta follow, we got words for that too. Dear Christians, especially the white church, I shouldn't even have to say that, cause it's Christ church. But I am not your token black. I am not sent to be your voice to the woken fact, in case you was hoping that.
Wow. So does being a certain political party make you be seen as being for Christianity or against Christianity? Good question. And again, when you get into political season, it seems like everybody wants that vote. So everybody says they're either Christian or they're whatever the company they're in. While Christianity remains a major component of both political parties in the U.S., its influence is waning, particularly in the Democratic Party, who are increasingly identifying as religiously unaffiliated, which means there maybe have more that are in there that are just stay more away from the religious realm and are more on to the views or what's going on, the issues that are going on. And again, this is a staggering fact, if you will, for a place that's been considered to be a Christian nation. How Christian are we here in the United States now? And how much of an impact does that have on day-to-day business?
I just rep God to the best of my ability. It's common now, a lot of y'all eventually stop feeling me the moment that you disagree. Or when I speak on race at all, you hate it till I'm aiming at my race to make a case for y'all. Suddenly you see race, you weaponize my words like bullets in your debates. When you agree he real, you disagree he fake.
The question is what do we use that faith to, what do we put our faith in, if you will? The religious landscape in the United States is undergoing significant changes, marked by a decline in traditional Christian affiliation and notable rise in those identifying as religiously unaffiliated. These trends reflect broader shifts in the societal attitudes towards religion and spirituality. It's all about relationship. It truly should have never actually ever been about what grandmama and granddad did. It's all about what you're doing right now. See, we move forward as we look at what we're going through right now and put it in proper perspective. And again, this is my thought, okay? This is how I feel. I believe the further we move away from God being the foundation, the more turmoil, the more conflict we're going to deal with.
I'm good when I check the hood, but aiming at it, y'all, to get my catalog erased. And yes, I'ma say this, just cause you like my music, don't make you not racist. I disagree with Trump publicly, y'all done with me. But ain't no way you walk with the Lord and think you got more in common with Donald Trump than me.
As of 2024 and 2025 years, approximately 62 to 66% of adults in the United States identify as Christian. Again, this is something alarming because if you think about over the years, many things that you like the Pledge of Allegiance and just many different articles and parts of our nation have had some kind of a Christian foundation to it. But in the years 2024 through 2025, only approximately 62 to 66% of adults in the United States actually identify as Christian. That's definitely a notable decline from around 90% in the early 90s. 90% in the early 90s. Again, that was during a time where I actually was graduating from high school. And like I said, when I grew up, we did the Pledge of Allegiance, and the Pledge of Allegiance had one nation under God. And, you know, it wasn't shocking to see people pray in public. It wasn't Sundays they had something called the Blue Laws where nothing was open. But over the years, that have changed. That's alarming. Again, here we are about 34 years since in the 90s, and it went from 90% that identify as Christian to about 62.
I think Israel was black and Christ was too. And if that bothers you, ask yourself why it do. If it's divisive, why is it you think painting them white is cool? Even when I thought he was white, I gave my life with you. I gotta let y'all know for the last time, you can't run me, I'll never be that guy. So
you know, Sunday morning, everybody went to church. Right. But now the option was given. And, you know, it's kind of funny because I think back, I mean, I used to get upset because I didn't want to go to church every Sunday. But now, at my age, I want to go. Right. But
I had the same exact experience because growing up, it was just another thing we did. It just felt like it was expected. And when I started to get to the age where I really was, it was the age to really decide if I truly believed and everything, I kind of got in the same mindset where I was forced to go, and so I didn't want to go. And so I stopped when I finally got old enough and I could make my own decision based off of that. I didn't go for a little bit, and I definitely I felt a loss of purpose in my life, and I contributed that to not going to church, not prioritizing spirituality. And so I got back into it. I brought some friends with me, and I've really just grown in it since. And awesome. I think for people my age specifically, it really needs to be a choice and not something that they're forced to do. Because with people my age, if you're forced to do something, you're not going to want to do it.
Right, so true. And I agree with you. I don't think it needs to be forced, but I think it definitely needs to be a role model around the young people. I fully agree. That they see that role model actually going and doing it. Yeah. You know, I'm more willing to do something if I see somebody doing it versus somebody telling me to do it.
Right.
As a matter of fact, if somebody tells me to do something, at least the younger me wants to do the total opposite.
Exactly.
You know? But when I asked you earlier, did you grow up in church, and you said you did, even though there was a time in your life where you felt like because of the fact that you didn't have an option, that you want to wander away, because you did go at such a young age, there was something that I call a seed that was...
This may be my last ride. No, I'm not your mascot. So I'ma let y'all know for the last time. Can't run me, I'll never be that guy. So in case this may be my last ride. No, I wasn't your mascot. Dear black folk, I ain't here to be some type of reverse Sambo. You only think's cool when it's you I tap dance for. I don't dance for nobody. I am black, but that ain't all that I am, no. I'm an individual, I stand for what I stand for. You could be black and be a sucker as a man, no. Real ain't got no color on it, real is on the inside. So I'd rather pick by the principles you live by. Sometimes they racist and sometimes it's nothing. Sometimes we right and sometimes we bugging. You ain't free when you can't speak unless you reading from the same sheet of what your group or your race think. We are not all the same, homie, we different. Cause if they say we all the same, you know we tripping. Meanwhile, we'll call you white if you speak different. Cause we don't even allow each other to be different. But I'm different.